say, "Go Big Red."
Dino Red.
Bubba pile just in front of Bubba.
Pretty much just like, yeah, leave Bubba there.
Good morning and welcome. The last early morning Sunday show of 2024. I know, a real big depression, but 2025. Oh, big things happening on this channel. Big things. Don't know what they are yet, but we'll just say big things, okay? Cheers. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. Wish you a great New Year. Mine was, fantastic. I'd show you. Let me show you the records I got. Wow, yeah, as usual, but that's okay. I got some of these eye buds or whatever you put in your ear. I wanted them, so that was cool. Nice to have the whole family together, so that was good. We had Christmas Eve. We had kind of a Carlson family traditional Christmas dinner. Ham balls and some other things, and then on Christmas night, my daughter-in-law Michelle made us a Hanukkah dinner, and I've never had Hanukkah food, and so we had brisket and matzo balls and latkes or whatever. So that was different. I can't say I'm big into matzo balls yet, but you never know. We got next Christmas to go. I might be a big fan, so who knows, but it was just nice. Really good time. Yeah, the opening, Christmas lights, Christmas. Yeah, what do you expect? Probably do some more. We really like going out. My wife and I just looking at Christmas lights. It's just what we do. So yeah, it's fun. And Nebraska, I'm taping this on Saturday morning. It's still like 4 a.m., but Nebraska plays their first bowl game since 2016, and it's a big, hairy deal. We are predicted to lose, by the way, but you know what? We're just in a bowl game, so it's like great. Half our team left. The way college football goes now, they have what's called the portal for those that don't know this, and so you can decide this school is going to pay me more money to play. Yeah, we pay our players to play now, so they can go out there, and so then the school says, we'll pay you this much, so then they leave their college. See, college education has nothing to do with it anymore for the most part. And you go out and you can go now play for that team. And we lost our defensive coach, which we knew, but a lot of the defensive players went with them. So, but then we were taking people from other schools. So, yeah, it's the pros, but chaotic and the wild, wild west. Cheers to football. Had come in. Had this from Rocky O. He made a wonderful spoken word album. I should have pulled that out to show you, but he sent me this real nice postcard. And old goat, I got your card, Mark. Very nice. But he sent me this calendar, and this is just photography he took when he lived in New York. He was down in New York in the 60s, in Greenwich Village area, where all the stuff was happening. And so he had these black and white photography he took. And so he made this very cool calendar. And I'm missing some pictures there. But yeah, it's from New York City during the 60s. Isn't that nice? Very, very nice. Rocky, this is just awesome. Very thoughtful of you, and I really appreciate it. Hotel Chelsea. Look at that. This is on the cover of his album that he did. Very cool. Just neat stuff. And so really appreciate this, Rocky. Thank you very much. I know this is a magical time for you. Wonderful guy. Rocky doesn't have a channel. I hope you're feeling better and that your health will be good this coming year. So cheers, Rocky. I also finished up this book I've been reading. Didn't take too long. From Sly Stone. Thank you for letting me be myself again. His autobiography, someone had to write it. It's lacking at times because he freely admits he doesn't really remember everything that's happened. And so obviously it's through his point of view. Now, as everyone knows, Sly was pretty much, been zonked out since early 70s, and he just kind of refused to give up drugs. He no one was going to tell him to. He'd go clean for a little while, but then they would all come back. It would be interesting to read a biography to get the thoughts of the other people that's surrounding him. You know, a lot of times they don't know how much they affect other people with what's going on. But it is kind of tragic how you go from, you know, $1 million houses and that into living in hotels, living on people's couches, and yeah, so it's tragic. He stays upbeat, he stays positive with it, you know, and yeah, now supposedly we're all clean, you know, married a few different times, has a number of kids. So yeah, interesting book. Is it the best book? No. It's, you know, you don't get into kind of everything you would like to hear, you know, about the music and everything, but still, it was an interesting read. So great price on it. What the heck? Okay, so let's talk, how about some albums? Albums I did not get for Christmas. And we're going to just begin, since we're talking about Sly, let's just go back to the 60s. Here we go. We got Santana's first album, Santana. Came out in, was it 1968, I believe. This came out. Of course, that's Santana, you know, out of San Francisco, where, I mean, it was just, what a cool thing where they took Latin and African rhythms and melded it for rock and roll, and he made music. That is awesome. This is a wonderful Mo-Fi I got at Radio Wasteland. Just incredible. This really, really sounds good. You know, Santana's born in 47. Carlos Humberto Santana Borangan. And, you know, he was born in Mexico. His family lived in Mexico. And, you know, at age 5, he learned the violin. Age 6, the guitar. By age 12, he was a roadie in a band in Tijuana. And the band was called TJ, because TJ is slang for Tijuana. But in 1966, I think he would have been 19 then, his dad got a job in San Francisco. So he moved to San Francisco in 1966. You talk about stuff happening. And so he then formed, actually it was 64 they moved, I believe. 64. In 66, he formed Santana's Blue Band. I know that just messed you all up. Well, this was his debut album, and this actually came out in 1969. And then he appeared in Woodstock, and this album blew up. You know, it fueled the sales, and off it went. And it just did phenomenal. You know, Woodstock really got him the audience that he needed. You know, it's filled with great Latin rhythms and just really fuzzed out rock, and they work well together. Just wonderful stuff. Neil Schon, of course, from Journey's on here. You know, he played with that group till 1972. So nice Mo-Fi pressing of this. I love the early Santana, first 4 albums, possibly 5 albums. Then he lost the excitement of the Latin and African rhythms, I felt. So happy to have that. Our next album here, Mike Rankin, aka Ben Rankin. You're going to be so proud of me. These Immortal Souls, and this is what's it called? Get Lost, Don't Lie. Get Lost, Don't Lie. And this is their first album. They are out of Australia. We have the Roland brothers, the Howard brothers, Harry and Roland Howard. So a set of brothers. On drums, though, we have Epic Soundtrack. That's his name, Epic Soundtrack. This group formed in 87, broke up in 98. They put out 2 albums, and this is their debut album. This is not the cheapest album in the world. And this is in gorgeous condition. I have looked at this. I have played it once in a while, samples of it at Radio Wasteland when I lived in Midland, and no one would buy it. And the reason why is the vocals on this are rough. I mean, they're tough. And the first time I put it on, I go, the guy can't sing. What the heck is this? And that was a year, 2 years ago. I don't know. It's been sitting around that long. And Mike, Ben Rankin, keeps showing it and says, this is one of the greatest albums ever. I go, really? And I keep telling him, are you sure? Are you really sure? Yeah, it is. And so I finally said, I'll buy it. Jim gave me a good price. I got it. And here we go. The guy really can't sing. But if you like Birthday Party, this would probably be right up your alley. You would probably enjoy this. In fact, Roland, who's the main man, he played in Birthday Party. So there, yeah, you have that. But they only did 2 albums, and this is a dark, it's ominous. In fact, it's dark, ominous, and it's very, very challenging. Very, very challenging. Their first single was Marry Me, Lie, Lie. And one critic wrote this. He goes, it's an immaculate piece of music, but then they booger it up by singing. Booger it up by singing. Yeah, it's tough. I'll play you a sample. You can make your own decision on this. But I said, he did play a Birthday Party. Fans of that. This is kind of like Leonard Cohen meets Joy Division as far as happiness and excitement. So there is some great playing. I'm happy I got this. But it's not the easiest listen in the world. So these Immortal Souls. There we have that. Part of the Australian collection. I'm working on having an Australian channel too, so to go with Ben there.
I just can't keep from a hungry man waiting for a shadow to cross the window frame, light upon the Venetian blind. Open for just one good claim upon an ectoplasmic stain.
Alrighty, but now we're popping down to Africa. And got this on vinyl, me please. Cosmic Sounds, hit track, Self-Destruction. Cosmic Sounds, and it's by Blintch. Blintch. There's his name right there. You can say it any way you want. He did 3 albums. Born in 52, still happening here. There we go. We got a little bit about what the album is. And the vinyl is super rad. Wow. Okay, this is like electronic, funk, soul, and disco all tossed in. This is the second album. This came out in 1980. On Discogs, 49 people have this. 1,222 want it. An original, which this is not, an original goes medium price, $1,072. I saw that when I was trying to cite albums. I go, well, by God, I just better find out what is going on. Why does the world want this? This is filled with beats. Lots and lots of different beats on here. You have the song itself, Self-Destruction, which has this heavy funk, very trippy background, but a disco feel. And I mean, if this album's about war and that and self-destruction. You can see here, look there, we got bombing going on, we got dead people laying here, but it's all done to a disco beat. So wow, yeah, you are partying for the end of the world. That's what's happening. I mean, it looks at global and African societal problems, but we do it to funky disco backbeat. I like this. It's Disco Boogie. Is it the favorite album in the world? No. But gosh darn it, it's just have these heavy arrangements going on. It's just very danceable. The female singers, they're a little rough. So I got another album. The female singers were a little rough to listen to, a little rough here, but you don't have them. This thing goes. So party as your world gets destroyed around you. That's what it's all about. Then we have Mark Mad for Vinyl. This is one of the albums he sent me. And the album is Melody's Echo Chamber. Melody's Echo Chamber, and it's from Melody Prochette. And it has black vinyl. Go, and there is a little thing of, yeah, I guess that's what we call posters. Okay, so Melody's Echo Chamber formed in France. So this is French in 2012. And again, Mark Mad, his channel Mad for Vinyl, sent this to me. So thank you very much, Mark. Very good album. Kind of neo-psych, dream, pop, space rock, all in there. The main person, Melody Prochette, she has put out 4 albums. This was the self-titled release that came out in 2012. And Kevin Parker from Tam Impala produced it. She got to know him because he came to France, was doing a European tour, heard this group, liked them, and kind of said, hey, would you guys open for us? So the group went around and opened for them. She had been in a group called My Bee's Garden, and that's actually the one where it wasn't this group, but he heard My Bee's Garden, Kevin Parker, and says, all right, I want you guys to be a part of us. She then went solo, Mary Prochette, and did her own thing. It's kind of psych-tinged pop, has a darkness to it. Yeah, you know, I've kind of, well, Santana was fairly happy, but the last few have been pretty dark. Well, here we keep going with the darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to show some records again. Yeah, there is there's these immersive textures that you would find in this, echoey riffs, strong bass lines are all part of this thing. I have a 1960s pop vibe, which a lot of the French music like to do. Good album. I'd never heard of this. It was very interesting. Really appreciated, Mark. It's in my wheelhouse. Thank you so much. Very, very cool. We went to Australia, that's Africa, we did France, kind of Mexico by the way of US, so we're moving here. So why not pop up to Sweden? What have them Swedes done? Well, the Swedes gave us the Nomads. Garage rock extraordinaire, formed in 81, still happening, still going on, and they've put out 19 albums. Can you believe that? 19 albums. Outburst is the third one that came out in 1984. This was the first U.S. release by them. Garage punk, they were influenced by the MC5, by the Stooges, Ramones, Cramps. You can hear a little bit about, you can hear that in here. In fact, their first single was Where the Wolfbane Blooms. And that came out in Sweden. I think on their first album it was there. This was their first U.S. album, so they do have Where the Wolfbane Blooms. That, when you listen to different compilations of garage rock from the 80s, always popular. And you always will hear music from the Nomads. They're, you know, they just did great garage rock. They really did. A lot of nice organ on here. Wonderful, nasty guitar riffs that are happening. And then lots of Vox organs. For those of you that love Vox organs, you can't go wrong. Very much a neo-60s garage rock type band, at least on this album. On here, they have 4 originals, and everything else is covers. But the covers sound great. You know, they do, the third bar does 5 years ahead of my time, and it just sounds fantastic. There is, you know, they do covers from the Kinks, from the Standells, from Alex Chilton. They play with a lot of grit. They play with a lot of toughness. Super stuff. I was so happy. I was excited to see this. Paid too much. I'm in Denver. That just seems to be one of the words I say a lot. I paid too much, but this is great music, great garage rock, and this is in beautiful shape. Just absolutely gorgeous. From Sweden, the Nomads, and we have Outburst.
I know a place that seems real strange. The certain things will never change. Final lightning, light in my eyes. Even though the bats fill up the skies, but in the pale light of the moon, I am made to see the wolf bane bloom.
Okay, all right, let's just go to Italy. Do I have? No, I don't have any American albums. Santana's the closest you're getting. So we have the Gluts. This is my 3rd Gluts album I've got. Estasi. It's their 2nd album. This one came out in 2017 from Fuzz Club. There we go. We got the Eat Acid side, and you have See God side. So side 1, Eat Acid. Side 2, See God. Okay. Very much hard rock gruesome music from Milan, Italy. Gothic tinged guitars. It's filled with swirling feedback. You have really menacing type vocals going on in here. Kind of punk enthused psych with layers and layers of heavy guitars that give it a shoegaze type feel. So hard to define them. You can't really put them in one classification because they're all over the place. You have the song Squirrel. You had to see that Up, I think was the name of the movie, forget it. But it's just filled with these bleak, screeching kind of noise rock. It's quite enjoyable. That's Me is another song. It's these menacing vocals with fuzz-laden guitars happening, and just this pulsing rhythm section. I mean, this is just layered with noise and with this hard pounding rhythm section. Wonderful stuff. Dark. It's a dark, fun adrenaline rush. I just want to say the Nomads was not a dark album, but otherwise, yeah, you can kind of see, okay, this is going to be a little darker looking, but there is power to this thing. This band just kicks butt. So we have that. Final one we're going to show, Elvis Costello and the Imposters. I am moving today. So we got the hype sticker. This came out in 2022 and I totally ignored it, didn't care. I'm at Barnes & Noble, $5. $5. It's a 2-album set. Now I went in because Mark, Mad for Vinyl, had a video. He was there at Barnes & Noble. They had like half price. So I went in, sure as heck, it's at half price, it says. They marked it down all the way down to $5. Didn't know it. And here's what I'll say. The Boy Named If. This came out 22. And this was a great album. This was really good. I wouldn't buy it because I thought, I really had lost interest in Elvis Costello. He got kind of melodic, softer and that. Well, he brings back basically he brings back the attractions, but one of the attractions has died. So now it's the imposters. And it's like a return to form. And he sounds really good. It wasn't soft. Yeah, he has a few of those, type songs, but for the most part, this was just such a pleasant surprise. It was a hard rocking album. Again, it sounds like it just sounded like 70s or early 80s. It really did. Great rock and roll, pumped up riffs, great wordplay, and the sound was fresh. I was shocked. Now, I'm pretty sure, see, there's the half price sticker on there. Yeah, he just got back to the music he does, and he just made an incredible album, I thought. And for $5, I couldn't go wrong. I got a few of these that I'll be showing. Just older artists I ignored because I hadn't liked what they'd been doing lately. But this one here, The Boy Named If. I hear that right? The Boy Named If. Yeah, was good. Very good. You see, at a good price, even at a higher price, it was worth it. It really was great Elvis Costello. This week. As always, appreciate you hanging out with me, and yeah, I'm doing this. We'll have vinyl tag I'm working on. Don't forget to check out my podcast, Two Guys Talking About Records. We're like doing really well on Spotify, amazingly. Jim Gleason's very good at it. I just tag along there, but we have our own version of kind of our best of list for the year that goes in a variety of different directions. So tune in for that. It'll be fun. As usual, mine will be an extremely eclectic around the world kind of list. What would you expect? But thank you so much. I just did my favorite albums of 2024. Check that out. Very interesting albums. It's not your norm, what you would find on the VC. At least I don't think so. So, yeah. Thanks, everyone, hanging out. Have a great one. Bye.